Good morning. Welcome to Laurel Park. Naomi Tucker, joined by Keith Fustel. Well, happy Saturday, Keith. We've got a 10 races coming up.
We've got a big card ahead of us. How was your trip out west?
Excellent.
Congratulations again on the Eclipse Award. I'm sitting here with a star. I love it. No, but tell us a little bit about all the festivities and anything, any highlights, any good extracurricular activities that were going on out there.
I mean, I have to say that one of the highlights was the fact that the Maryland-bred Knicks got Horse of the Year, of course. And I know Angie and Sabrina Moore were there as well. I saw them, and massive congratulations to them. But highlight for me, just attending. Never been before. Eclipse Award, of course, the pinnacle, the awards nationwide of our sport, really highlighting these standout performances as well as in the media. So I just felt really blessed that we had a project that was so well liked by peers, and everyone was so graciously giving us their time, allowing us to tell their stories, promote horse racing. So very, very proud to be part of an Eclipse Award winning team. Peter Thomas, Fornatel, Matthew Taylor. It was about the Breeders' Cup. Breeders' Cup magical moments. So very fortunate to be there, and hopefully I get to come back next year.
That would be good. I'm telling you, you've accomplished a lot in a little time, so that's great. And onward and upward, I'm sure, for everything else. But it was a very good piece and definitely deserved.
No, you're being very, very good. You're going to make me blush on live television here.
That's my job.
Oh, okay. Well, you do it well. You do it well. Let's have a look at some of the action coming your way here at Laurel Park. The Sprint Fest next week. Exactly 1 week away. 6 stakes races highlighted by the historic General George, the Barbara Fritchie. I was kind of looking at the entries. I do believe we have a good couple of horses lined up in those two fields, including possible last year's winner of the Barbara Fritchie coming back in it as well. At least she's meant to hopefully come back. Hibiscus Punch, of course, Justin Nixon. So I'm definitely going to have a look at that. And we know Belle of the North, regally bred, strong runner as well for Jose Corrales might be in there. Maybe even Air Token possible for the General George. Maybe even Cordmaker. He might go to the John B. Campbell. We'll have to have a look. But certainly a couple of really tough runners here on this circuit that will definitely be flying our flag.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And again, for those entries, we'll be taking I think Sunday, tomorrow, right? Saturday, 219. We'll be taking 213 tomorrow. So get ready. Entries going up tomorrow, and we'll get on that field and get those morning lines out to you ASAP.
Absolutely. Excitement certainly building. And don't forget, we have a long weekend that weekend. On the Monday, President's Day, we will be racing as well. 12:25 post time. So plenty to look forward to here. But let's check in on the current track conditions. We have a fast main track, and so far it's the day has started out well. You can see a tiny bit of sunshine. She's trying to show her face.
Yes, we're trying. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Again, temperature, we'll take this up to about 58 degrees right now. A little bit of wind to deal with, but all in all, a very good day for this time in February, almost mid-February here. Track is fast for the most part, pretty honest all the way around. Yesterday we saw horses win on the lead. We saw horses 5-6 wide throughout, and horses on the rail do well. So pretty honest racetrack right now. Still not glib, super fast, but definitely a good condition, very good condition, and playing honest.
Yeah, well, always wonderful to hear that it's playing evenly, giving every type of runner the opportunity to ply their trade with success. So let's start with the first race of this 10-race card. Early pick 5 starts here as usual. Mile and 16 claiming 25 to 20,000 the distance in here. We'll start on both our top selections before we move on to our video spotlight. Hardness on the outside for trainer Jamie Ness. Jamie Rodriguez ride. Of course, we did see Jamie Rodriguez yesterday with the double for the Ness barn as well.
Yes, Ness has been rolling right along. Horses yesterday took some pressure and just absolutely rebroke from the field. This horse, Hartness, looks like he's getting better and better. We've got a couple scratches in here, shorter fields to the outside post. Shouldn't be too much of a hindrance. I like the way he kept churning last time out. Lasix goes on. He'll be forward just off the speed.
I think so as well. With a scratch on his a couple of scratches on his inside, he's definitely going to be well placed in here. As you can see on the board already, currently your 5-2 favorite. Let's talk about Gunhead and have a look at his last race, where he actually had a bit of a bump going into the first time. We didn't see that, but you see him on the backstand. He kind of looked keen on the lead there with Krug. He kind of started to settle at that point, because at the beginning they were really kind of going for it.
Yeah, they were, and the Eternals were solid. 23-2, 47 flat. For 3-year-old, 12.5, right? Track a little quicker maybe that afternoon, but that's still strong. And Gunhand, got the better of Krug, disposed of that, and was able to kind of kick clear and hold firm to the wire. This is a horse debut, okay, then good race, then bad race, then good race. But I think he's got to figure it out back here for his 5th race here for Farrier. Gonna jump up. Farrier tough on the jump. We've got a stat later on a horse like that. But really holding well. And we've seen this horse come from further back as well. So, first quarter mile, we'll tell Naomi to see what the jock really wants to do. I guess if he wants to go ahead and go, he probably could get a little speed. Run on the trails pretty quick. Interesting move. The Lasix coming off. That horse has pulled an upset before 3 races back, beating similar type. So I think Gunhand is just fine stalking if he needs to.
Yeah, I don't think he's fast enough to get to the front, but I was quite surprised to see that sort of running style reverse on that last race, but he did so very well. So I thought it worked well, and I'm assuming they're going to try and use those similar tactics because it's helped him out in his last outing. Race number 2, we saw the early pick 4, and as we're accustomed to from you, Keith, you have a ticket for us.
Yeah, we caught one yesterday finally. A little investment, but came back all right. So, let's see if we can run it back. Bump this ticket up a little bit late. It was 24. I added a horse in the 3rd. Still a tough little stretch. I hope we can get by race 2. 2 and a 6. We'll go Repeat-a-Monte and One Night Stand. There's the spread in the 3rd with a 3, 4, 5, and 6. Even Damon is dangerous there, lurking. Check her out in the paddock. She's a little nervous maybe last time you saw the short time, a little washy. She 2-back race puts her right in the mix. So if you can stretch it, grab a friend and do so. Race 4, whittle it down to the 2 and the 3. Race 5, 4 deep again with the 2, 5, 7, and 9. Once again, a $32 early pick 4 ticket.
Yeah, starts right here in race number 2. And like you said, there's definitely a couple of competitive heats throughout the day that you might want to go deep in and double down on the other races. But we'll start with your top selection before we move on to mine. Repeat-a-Monte, now stretching back out to the mile, was doing pretty well, decently enough over the sprinting distance. It's going to be her 2nd start after the break as well. But looking back, she ran at Delaware over the mile, and that was her career best figure, placed 3rd, claiming 16 level. I feel that's kind of comparable to the group she might find here. Agreed.
And a horse in there, Joni Sunset, who came back to win here, I think, for Rudy Sanchez Salomon. Yeah, I mean, she's got tactical speed. I don't think she necessarily needs it as well. Expect the Sunrise, might just go from the outside. She stayed on all right last time. Didn't have the easiest trips. This barn is good with this kind of move, this little sort of layoff. Second off of it, you see at 30%. Not the biggest sample, but a good ROI. I think the main threat, though, is the 6 One Night Stand for Brittany Russell to make that move from somewhere mid-pack.
Yeah, let's have a look at her last race because she actually didn't get away as quickly, just a slightly delayed break. And unfortunately, that meant that she did have a couple of runners come in on her. You saw the Comet pinched back, and that's exactly what happened. The last of all of them ends up weaving through the field, but very patiently. Javier Toledo was kind of allowing her to do it within herself. But I thought she did pretty well, especially in the latter stages of the race.
Yeah, she picked it up late. She closed up about 3 lengths for the final 1/8 of a mile. She's shown the ability to get a route of ground as well. So I think the mile distance is fine off this one sprint. A little tune-up first time in the barn, right? Shifts out. I expected maybe a little bit more here, but maybe she just needed this race. She should move up off of that effort.
Yeah, I think so as well. Hence, I use her on top. I just thought she was a little bit unlucky. And like you said, I think she would have gotten something out of that race and will come back sharper in here.
Yep.
Now, as we're seeing her roll down to in the center of the track, a move that we've seen a lot of riders use very, very well with these kind of closers, trying to stay out of trouble there. We'll move on to race number 3. We've got a busy program. Fillies and Mares claiming 16 to 12,500. Non-winners of 2 lifetimes, 6 furlongs. The sprinting distance. And look, Keith, we like the same horses.
Yeah.
Just a little bit different. You landed on a bit more of a price play, right? Special Freedom, by the looks of it, 12 to 1 on the morning line for Carlos Mancia. In her last couple, hasn't been as sharp, but before that 3 starts ago, managed to, over this similar distance, 5.5 furlong, managed to come off the pace and nab them all. So if she can return to that form, we'd be in business.
We're hoping. Her last 2 races have been lost at the break. She was bounced around both starts. Last time at Charlestown, I happened to watch that race. I bet her. I thought she'd be forward in that field and was completely, half a step slow and then sandwiched. It was over.
Well, and at Charlestown, you just can't afford to do that.
No. And she just got off her game. No kick whatsoever. We're going to get a live bug. Maclovio Enriquez. Arojo, it's not his fault last time. She just got in a bad spot out of the gate. She 3 good races in a row prior to those 2 troubled trips. I think she has enough speed. If she breaks cleanly, she can track Hufflepuff. That's going to be the key, though. The key is the break. If she comes off poorly again, all bets are off. But she holds value in here off of those 2. Her last 2, those numbers are dirtied up. She's going to go off at an okay price. I think Hufflepuff, speed of the speed. She's just going to go sending out there, go as far as she can.
Yeah, Hufflepuff's been very popular in the claiming box. She's been moving around a fair bit. Everyone kind of wants to have her because she really, really tries every single race. And I think she's one of the main speed agents in here, like you already said. And I think this is a group that she can best.
Yep, like the owner's name, Shake and Bake Racing, right? From Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights, I guess. That's a good one. So I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, but that's right up my alley. That's my mentality. But no,
showing your age here.
It wasn't that long ago. But yeah, Sunshine and Rainbow. She's been deadly consistent. Brings an okay punch, I think, from just off of it. I'm going to center around those. We talked about Damon a little bit. She just did not look great coming out. Didn't look comfortable last time. We'll see a little subtle drop here. She's tactical. Her race 2 back puts her right in the mix. But check her out on the track.
Yeah, see how she looks in the paddock. Race number 4 for straight 3-year-old fillies, claiming 40 to 32,000. 1 turn, 1 mile the distance. Let's start with your stat play here.
Okay.
Got to love a good Keith Fusel stat that you dug up. The number 3 Jerusalem for trainer Anthony Ferrier.
Yeah, I like the confident move up off the claim. This is a good move for Ferrier over the last 3 years on the dirt in Maryland. Look at this, 9 for 27, 33%, 14 of 27 in the money. ROI solid. This horse, just found herself with too much to do when they hit the top of the stretch last time. But I think breeding suggests let's go long. This isn't the most dominant of fields. A lot of question marks prevail.
Yeah.
I off of that stat, I've got to use you. You've got Carrasco, a rider that's riding great guns right now. She doesn't have a lot of speed. There is a little bit of flow in this race, so I think she's going to bring a rally. Joe Mike Jim, I think, is the horse to beat.
Yeah, I thought this race was really, really tricky to figure out, because there's a couple of horses that can absolutely jump up. And like you said, Joe Mike Jim, very convincing in her last outing, breaking her maiden at that maiden 40 level. Now, kind of softest fractions in the middle part of it.
Yes.
I thought she kind of got away with it a little bit. I'm not sure that's going to happen here. I think there's a bit more flow in here, so I just kind of want to see how she reacts to that. So I use her underneath it. I landed on number 4, Click to Confirm, who's been going up against tough runners in her last couple. I think she's going to like this group a lot better. And of course, Rudy Sanchez Solomon, red hot at the moment.
Yeah, and off a couple tries that you thought they might kind of drop her, and she ran okay last time. Now she's in for the tag.
Yeah.
But Lasix, first time Lasix last time, showed that little bit of life. She's going to get the flow that she needs. It's at a mile. I look at her the way she runs. She's going to flatten just a bit, but she's a user, most certainly, in your exactas.
Yeah, I feel like this group might allow her to kind of get that rating trip and maybe set out a bit of a lower pace so she'd see it out more. But like you said, the worry is definitely there if she's going to see out the distance, because you definitely need a bit of a specialist over this. And we already mentioned number 3 as well, who we both had. How about the number 7 on the outside, Jackie the Joker? She might just jump up and try and get to the front as well. In the past, she's shown abundance of speed.
Yeah, has shown some speed. I think this horse is interesting. 4.5, 2 race back to 6, now out to a mile. But looking at the breeding suggests long. This is a horse that kind of might just be that stayer, grinding type against this field.
Yeah, really, really interesting that she won over 4.5 and then they moved her up. But I thought that looking at what she's done over the 7 furlongs, this would still be within her reach. And Anthony Ferrier is starting to do very, very well throughout this meet as well. Race number 5, you've got a maiden special weight coming up. 3-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs sprinting distance. Let's start with the number 2, Outkist. I have him on top. And here we look back at his last race. 2 starts to date. Last race was about a couple of months ago here. That was in November.
Yeah.
They were rolling early. He was kind of with them, ranged up and tried at the beginning, looked a little bit outgassed, but then you see he kind of took that sitting position behind them. But he kept on grinding and kept on fighting. And if you look back at the finish, we did see Script, who ran second, fast closing, winning next out as well. I thought it was a better group than it might look like on paper in here, especially the way the pace set up.
Always good to watch Forest Sports. Right. I mean, just sets up in position, gives the horse a little breather behind other rivals, and then shifts out, saves the best for last. This horse makes a good charge at, a well-meant first or line change who's run well down at the fairgrounds. Comes back, ran okay. the next out. But I like the freshening, working great guns. Lasix going on a positive move here for Robbie Bales. Outkiss sits another trip, I think, just tracking inside will bring a kick.
Yeah, you landed on Prince of Fenton. It's going to be his second start for trainer Brittany Russell. Good debut race, nice 53 buyer, but he was very far back, wasn't he?
He was. Found himself a little further back against a lone speed type in Sunday Mischief. I went back and watched this race again. A little bit of a wait, kind of stalled. Momentum got stalled at the quarter pole. Found a seam. It kept on going well. Second time out, this horse will be tighter. I like the turn back to 5.5. I think that enhances the run for a horse like this.
Yeah, I used the first-time starter, and here we have a couple. I use his Royal G. I mean, this horse is just working bullet after bullet after bullet, and especially that last 28th of January. A minute flat and 4, breeze from the gate, over 5 furlongs. We're only going 5.5 furlongs today. That kind of pricked my ears in. Now, young sire Gormley, no 3-year-old stats with firsters yet, but with his 2-year-old first, about 13% winners is decent enough. This runner has one sibling. He won second time out sprinting over 5 as well, 40 buyers. So it seems it's more that kind of sprinting family as is, and I can't leave him out based on that work tab.
No, the work tab is good. Perkins, is going to draw money. Wouldn't surprise me if he's favorite right on the board. First flash, because I don't know who it is, but they like betting the Perkins runners. And Ben's just trying to get back on track with his firsters here in Maryland. He's had a lot of success at Delaware, up in Jersey, and not so here, but so we're certainly working quite well. I think you've got to throw in. Look at the other firster. Zen Master is a user. Yeah. Mastery's the stallion's only like 5 or 6% with the first-time starters. But, man, this Merit was fast, blazing fast. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to throw into the mix. And the Trombetta horse, I think it was against the grain. I went back. There was a stretch there. That Aqueduct, the inside was good. This horse was caught wide. Yeah. It was kind of green through the stretch. Hence, the blinkers go on. The move's been okay in the past for Tromby. I expect a move up for keeping the edge.
Yeah, I like that. 5-1 shot as well. You've got to throw a couple of those in here. Good competitive race.
It is. This is a good betting race, race 5. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go for a quick commercial break, but stay with us. We've got plenty more to come later.
I like making them all look pretty, like little models. A lot of these horses need to be clipped for exercise, so obviously it goes hand in hand with training, but I like to make them look good and feel good as they can get. They definitely cheer me up. Going in and having a little special date with each one. They all have their good personalities and they're happy to get their haircuts.
Makes a first level allowance for fillies and mares 4-year-old and up, 1 turn 1 mile the distance. And Keith, this is a good field.
Grab bag here, yeah.
I looked at this field, I think about 5 times. I have a price play in here, so I'll quickly mention my price because I thought if anywhere you can get some value, it's in this race. The number 6 Trumpet, Lily for Norman Cash. She's making her Laurel Park debut. She's a fresh face. Her last win came over this distance in a competitive Oaklawn Park heat. Now that was on the off-going, but still I think she's been doing very, very decently, and she could just jump up and make a good run at it. I think she's going to sit a lovely trip with kind of that middle draw tactical ability. I had to throw her in here.
Yeah, I mean, Norman Cash, good to see. He's bringing a lot of horses in here. I heard he might get some stables in Maryland. Have Van Will travel. His horses go everywhere. I mean, we had a horse yesterday. I think it's 7th different racetrack, 7 consecutive races. Unbelievable. Great for the game guys like that. Yeah. They fill your entry boxes. Competitive, too. He holds a good clip wherever he goes, so you got to like that. This race, I think there's a slew of speed when you really break it down. I think Trumpet will be part of that flow and making a little move into it around the turn. I'm going to look for somebody coming from a little further back. I've got that Brittany Russell, Jerry Robb exact. You weren't here the other day. They had these two ran 1-2. I don't know if you saw it. Paid $250.
I did. I didn't watch the price, but I did see them come in there.
That kind of percentage. But Miss Chesapeake, I might have lined high.
I was wondering if we were going to get the 12 to 1. If you could on a Brittany Russell run, I would be very, very pleased.
Well, the last race looked so bad on paper, against a similar group, and all the other options that kind of now show up. Maybe she falls to the crest. I'm going to demand 6 or 8 to 1. I don't want anything lower than that.
Yeah.
But I thought just last time, Dahl to the inside. plenty of flow, can sit, chili, and circle here. Toledo back on, right? Yeah, so Toledo has won, twice, both starts, 2 for 2 with Miss Chesapeake. Take the shot there, and I think Award wanted Jerry Robb again. Can make moves into fast paces. This horse has the stamina build up. Will make a move around the turn, and I think will battle through the stretch.
Yeah, let's have a look at a way to return her last race, because she had an awkward break. She had to be used to get up there early. But instead of then giving up and backing down, she was relentless right till the end. And that was 7 furlongs. You see her there, just not breaking with them. You see Charlie Marquez going, all right, if you got the speed, let me get up there, let me get position.
Yeah.
That was 7 furlongs. She ran well through the wire. I think that the mile isn't that much of a problem, especially if she just breaks well this time.
Yeah, she ran hard. We talked about her try 2 races back on a track that did not favor the inside. She just had to get away a little better last time. She was used to contention, and that hiccup cost her this race. And we liked her a lot this day at a good square price. Breeding suggests, hey, let's go longer. A clean break and a flow that should be to her liking. She's a stayer against this group, no doubt.
Agreed. As much as I want to dive so deep in that race, we still have plenty more races to go over. Well, race number 7, Filly's optional claim is starter allowance. Late pick 4 ticket I created for this, and I kind of tried to spread a little bit because it's a tricky sequence as well. I go too deep in here, and I'm really hoping that Memphis Mafia, the 4 or the 8, the speed on the outside Targe, are going to help me out in here. And then I go 3 deep in that optional claim of race 8, 2, 3, and 8 in there. Excuse me. Actually, let's move along here with the race, because I think the ticket isn't correct, because I actually have the number 4 on top in race number 8. So we'll come back to that in the afternoon as well. We'll just talk about race number 7 in here. Optional claim and starts allowance. Like I said, 6 furlongs the distance. The number 4 in here, Memphis Mafia, both of us have on top. Jamie Ness trains a second start after a break. She is very, very fast early, and she tried to kind of do that similar thing. She broke well, then wanted to move up there, and that just tired her. Perhaps she needed that race, and she now comes back to
exactly. Targe could be the speed of some trouble out of the gate. Goes first off the claim for Ferry, but I think Memphis Mafia is poised for a big run right here. Going to go 3rd time for the Nest Barn. Last time out, off a little bit of a break. He's good with this kind of angle, second off of that kind of break, but it's against the grain of the racetrack. Went back and looked at the charts this morning on the 25th. I don't really know if you wanted to rail at Park. Made the move just a little flat, and with her speed, she's right into it. And again, we'll stay the trip.
Yeah, I think so as well. But both of us have the same horses in our top 3, actually. That doesn't always happen. Targe on the outside for trainer Anthony Ferry. First off the claim. We know Anthony Ferry does very, very well with those type of moves. Now, has to bounce back, though, after just a slightly bad start. And I think that was kind of end of race for her.
Yeah, no doubt about it. She wasn't going to make any catch up there, but response time came back to win. Good effort. Closer to the heart, another one. I think the trip is going to be easier for her today. You see the comment, 4 deep at the 3/8 pole. And still trying into an okay flow. She should be able to draft in, maybe get that quote-unquote covered-up trip and kind of stalk and pounce and move into it from there. The 7th, maybe your price play. I've got 15-1 on the morning line. Lay 6 on off a fresh. This horse has been entered a couple times and scratched. Gives me a little bit of concern, but she's shown a hint of ability in the past.
I agree. I have her underneath based on some of the speed that's in here. I think Memphis Mafia can kind of just draft in as well. Memphis Mafia close to the heart can kind of sit behind him and make that move. She's that type of runner. Race number 8, we're going 6 furlongs. Optional claim and starter allows. We also have a video spotlight here on a horse that most likely will be a heavy favorite, Algebraic, the number 4 for trainer Hugh McMahon. We look back there, he had company all the way up front. You can see him there, El Sobre Viviente on his inside, but really, really fighting for it. Posted a career best, aged 4. Yeah,
kind of a gaudy number, 87, a strong jump up in the figs. Can he bring it back? I think so, and he's going to get. He's got a scratch of the one to Rapper I thought was going to maybe take aim on him sooner. Then he's out. He is the speed of the speed, and Naomi. So he goes. He able to handle that pressure. El Prevente. That was another Nest runner. He's going to have to fear another Nest runner here and see now. So, but he definitely has an edge from a speed standpoint, and you saw how game he's been in his races. He loves a fight up front.
Yeah, I think Algebraic is one of my better bets of the day. I
Okay.
don't think anyone's going to really be fast enough to go with him early. And if they do, that might be at their own expense because Algebraic will keep fighting at them. I do use Gebologist. I know he's pretty fast early too, but will possibly have to be content with just kind of stalking and then running for a placing. And that's why I use him underneath as well. Let's move on to race number 9. We've got 2 more races to go here. Race number 9 being 5.5 furlongs event. Allowance first level for the fillies and mares, 4-year-old and up. Never on a race other than. We see this similarly, but again, different order. Tough competitive heats here. Let's start with your top selection, which is on the outside, American Bastard. I must admit, I was so close between American Bastard and Mending. I think I had American Bastard on top before, end up changing my mind this morning because I find them tough to separate. But American Bastard from Miguel Vera, her 3-back gate to wire effort when breaking her maiden showed just this really, really high cruising speed that's going to put her in good stead here.
Yeah, I just think she's run against the right kind, maybe a touch better than these, and she's, fraudulent charge, did not fire, but she's quick. 5.5, a clear run from the outside. Again, she can. I'm not going to say she's going to run them off their feet because she's going to have to deal with Miner's Gem to the inside. But she's seasoned. She's got that season against a little bit better horses. I think maybe she survives the pace duel and is going to have to hold off maybe like a closer in behind the couch, the 3-horse.
Yeah, no, that's, I think, actually the most interesting horse in this race behind the couch because the abundance of speed. I use Mending on top.
Okay.
She rated off Hope Has a Name and a Way to Return, but she's came up empty in those final strides. I think that sharp cutback to the 5.5 will suit her speed much better. And those back-to-back strong trips, 2 and 3 back, make her a horse to use for me in here. But like you highlighted, behind the couch is the one that's going to be lurking behind if the speedsters come back.
Got away at a square price last time. I was a little surprised at that. She's honest. She tries every time. She'll work out a trip from just behind the speeds, in my opinion. The 7/8 to a 5.5. Maybe that's the biggest concern if she can bring it. But the flow should be her liking. You got horses like Competent off of the 4.5 at Charleston. Just going to send, just kind of maybe be a little bit of a nuisance as some of these horses can be through the opening 3/16 or a quarter mile. Obviously, Miner's Gem is quick. So, yeah, the setup works in her favor today.
Absolutely. I mean, Miner's Gem looking for a 5th win in a row really quickly. This is a huge class test for her, though.
This is it. I mean, McMahon, when he's gone claimers to allowance, he's been very good year in and year out. I mean, that percentage is over 25%.
I mean, if she's confident now from all those wins, which you would think the 4-year-old filly, very well campaigned indeed by Hugh McMahon. So we'll see how she fares against a couple of tougher ladies today. The nightcap race number 10, fillies straight 3-year-olds claiming 10 to 8,000, 6 furlongs the distance here. Actually, exact same picks here. That's a first ditto. Yeah.
Right.
Landed on Hit a Homer Honey on the rail for trainer Jamie Ness. Bit of a clunker last time up, but I also think that had to do with the step up back to a mile. I just don't think that she wanted that distance at all.
Yeah, and again, it looks like, she might hold the value now. We've got 2 scratches. The 3 and the 5 are out. Her price 6 to 1 is probably going to come down to maybe 3 or 7 to 2 when it's all said and done. But yeah, hopefully she can set up shop behind the speeds. Chica Rabiosa, Cabrachica is fresh, the outside horse where she'd been off of that win. But the 2-back try was good. The only thing about the 2-back try, number was good, but she was aided by that racetrack that day. She rode the high and wide trip. That's what you wanted to do on the 17th. But yeah, I mean, she can run into this.
I think she's a little bit more valued than perhaps Chica Rabiosa, which we use both in second for trainer Claudio Gonzalez, as we'll get going on lightning round because we've got plenty to discuss.
Yes.
Of course, we got to start with the highlight of the Eclipse Awards. The Maryland-bred Knicks Go was crowned Horse of the Year. He had Champion Older Mill Dirt Horse as well. Of course, trainer Brad Cox got back-to-back champion trainer titles. You can see him there with Sabrina Moore, very, very proud co-breeder of him. Of course, a Pegasus World Cup, a Breeders' Cup Classic, a Whitney Stakes. He had an impeccable year.
Yeah, absolutely. All over the place. Answered the bell. I mean, right to the front. I mean, he ran horses off their feet. Just great for him. All the connections. And the state of Maryland, to be honest. Yep.
Absolutely. Certainly flying the flag. I don't believe we've had a horse of the year since the Mighty Cigar. That was in Maryland bred. I think I checked up on that one. So yeah, absolutely terrific effort of all involved. And couldn't be more proud here in Maryland. And the second topic is about a Japanese mare. Loves Only You got crowned champion female turf horse. We see her there as she's in the final strides, nabbing the Breeders' Cup filly mare turf. Now the reason I wanted to highlight at the moment, she made history by becoming the first of 2 Japanese raiders to win a Breeders' Cup, and also the first Japanese trained horse to win an Eclipse Award. So highlights plenty. I think that the Japanese victories, March Lorraine as well as Loves Only You in the Breeders' Cup, was also crowned NTRA Moment of the Year by the fans because it was such a testament to the international presence and the Japanese year after year trying it, and this time succeeding.
Got it done. That was huge, no doubt about it. And we used that bomb. What was the horse that was a big price?
March Lorraine.
That's it.
In the Breeders' Cup
Distaff.
You had her?
Yeah, we used her in our pick 3s and pick 4s. So yeah, big price. But yeah, Loves Only You got that seam there. You saw it coming past mid-stretch and got the job done. Beat a very good field.
Yeah, really loved seeing that. That made me very happy for all involved. As we know, the road to the Kentucky Derby is well on their way. And at our sister track, Golden Gate Fields, we have one of the races that our points are up for grabs for El Camino Real Derby. 10 points up for grabs, 41st running. I think we got 11 horses so far before scratches have come in. And we know that the morning line favorite, McKinnon, trainer Doug O'Neill, coming out of that grade 3 sham race, but having done very well on the turf, which you think would translate here to that all-weather mile and an 8th that they're going to go.
Yeah, McKinnon ran very well in the Breeders' Cup, right? The juvenile, that was the juvenile turf, right?
Juvenile turf,
ran a big race there, a little trouble, but closed up well, should handle the synthetic, but a big field to deal with. But you know what? You guys been following Golden Gate with the Stronach 5. You know the racetrack. You should be ready to roll.
You know what to do in here. Look, I actually kind of like the Jonathan Wong runner in here as well, the number 6 Boys. He's been doing very well at the track. Won the Gold Rush Stakes on it, so a little bit of hometown advantage, right? I think that might go a long way. Now back to the Maryland tracks here. You did have a couple of jockeys who had a banner day yesterday. Javian Toledo and Jaime Rodriguez. Toledo took out the early double on Albertran on #Lucky for McMahon and Rudy Sanchez-Solomon. Jaime Rodriguez won 2 out of his 3 rides on the day for Jamie Ness, including race number 4, Visual Artist, and what we're looking at here, race number 8 on Borracho.
Yeah, both winners, similar styles. Rodriguez aggressive to get the lead, got the horses to settle, and both times kind of took pressure. Said, see you later. Top of the stretch, rebroke to widen with something left in the tank. Ness Barn red hot. Rodriguez good rider. So you got a lot of guys right now, high percentage guys. You can kind of lean on a little bit in your exactas and try plays, and sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. And sometimes they do fall the cracks. Through the cracks and bring really big dividends, as we saw the other day with Russell and Rob.
Yeah, well, we might see Miss Chesapeake with Brittany Russell. If we get a price there, we'll see how it goes. That will conclude the morning show, because I'll be back later today, joined by Callie Francois, to go over the races. And good luck to everyone playing. And Dave Rotman will be up next with all the scratches and changes for today.
You got it. Good luck.